Welcome back, everyone. This is Dave from the Corn Productions Deep Dive TV Podcast, here to talk about Scrubs Season 10, or is it Season 1? You know, I'm actually a little confused about that issue because they had been calling this Scrubs Season 10, but now it's listed on Internet Movie Database as Season 1, so I'm a little confused as to which is it. Is this like Season 10, or is this like effectively a brand new series? And this, of course, is the revival of Scrubs. Episode 1, My Return, and Episode 2, My Second First Day. My Return's episode description reads as follows. John J.D. Dorian unexpectedly finds himself back at Sacred Heart, reuniting with new and old faces. The series was created by Bill Lawrence, written by Tom Hober and Asim Batra, who also developed the series, and staff writer Shiloh Shaner. The episode was directed by Zach Braff, also series star. I'll talk more about him in a moment. 16 credits as a director, including Wish I Was Here, Garden State, and 7 episodes of the original Scrubs. Episode 2 was written by Amy Poca and Seth Cohen. The episode was directed by Michael Spiller, 55 directorial stints, including 20 episodes of the original series. Before we go any further, I'll tell you a couple things. One, this is not a support-free podcast. If you haven't watched the episode, I highly recommend you go check it out. Secondly, if you're listening to one of the platforms this podcast is now available on, please follow, and feel free to check out our YouTube channel, Corn Productions, where additional content can be discovered. If you're already on our YouTube channel, please like, share, and comment, and subscribe to our channel. Alright, so of course I'm doing this solo without Stacey. I had originally proposed the idea that perhaps we could do it together, but she's actually not very familiar with the series at all. Before going into what I actually think of this episode, and this is going to be a quick hit. This is not going to be very long. It's not going to be a scene-by-scene situation. The series stars Zach Braff. He has 48 credits as an actor, including Garden State, Wish I Was Here, movies he also directed, and The Disaster Artist. Donald Faison as Turk, 110 credits, Kick-Ass 2, The Wonder Years, 1 episode of that, and Extended Family, which is a series that we actually covered on our channel. To borrow my co-host's phrase, that show got NBC'd. It was basically canceled after 1 season. Sarah Chalke as Elliot, 82 credits, including 81 episodes of Rick and Morty, 26 episodes of Firefly Lane, and 73 episodes of Roseanne. Of course, we did an episode of Roseanne, not one that included Sarah Chalke. Eventually, we probably will. And of course, she ended up taking over the role of Becky in the latter half of the series. And of course, there's Judy Reyes, who plays Carla in the series, and she has not aged at all. She looks exactly the same as she did back in the original run. 86 credits, including Smile, which we covered on this channel, 7 episodes of Dr. Death, and 3 episodes of Succession. Guest starring in the first episode of note is John C. McGinley, who is not a regular in the series, but he's returning as Dr. Cox. I'm assuming he's going to continue making guest spots throughout the season. Credits include Any Given Sunday, Office Space, and Wall Street. In the second episode, we get a guest starring appearance from John Kapelos as a patient. I thought it was actually Kevin Dunn, but he was in an episode of House MD, 9 episodes of Justified, and he's actually a Quantum Leap Connection. He was in The Curse of Pa-Hotep, which is a episode that me and Stacey covered. Alright, so I'm just going to give my brief thoughts on these 2 episodes. And I'm not going to keep you here very long. But yes, the main thing here is that these 2 episodes actually feel like Scrubs. They did a very good job of making it feel new, but at the same time, keeping the same kind of rhythms. You know, the comedy is there, and also the drama and the pathos, which I thought is what made Scrubs Scrubs. Not just the comedy, but also the dramatic moments as well. The main concern I had coming into the series was the character of JD. In the latter half of Scrubs, specifically, I would say like mid-run, he really became a cartoon character, and especially in the much reviled season 9 of the series, which this series is currently ignoring. This, as far as continuity goes, that season does not exist. And I was kind of hoping that they would return to the more grounded character of JD, who, you know, still a goofball, still having the fantasies, still being kind of a goofy character. And much to my happiness, they actually did return him to that character. He was more of a grounded, older character. He still had that edgy goofiness, of course, but they course corrected with the character. They returned him more to how he was at the start of the series and not how he was towards the end. I was a little iffy about the whole idea of John Dorian, JD, becoming the chief of medicine and taking over from John C. McGinley's character, Dr. Cox. In the original series, it was more like a board decision. It wasn't like one character handing it off to another, and it was that character's decision. In this case, Dr. Cox handing it off to JD. So I don't know if I fully buy how that took place, but it was used to very good effect. And how Dr. Cox, John C. McGinley, and JD, as played by Zach Braff, played that scene was beautiful. It was really well done. I kind of like that Dr. Cox was sincere in his desire to have JD come back and take over for him, thinking that he's the one that needs to basically train the next set of doctors because the world has passed Dr. Cox by. He's no longer capable of being that person. I do really love how they handled that. They do kind of act like the whole idea of, Turk and JD being mentors is a new concept. It's really not, because they were, towards the latter half of the season, mentors throughout the series. But yeah, in the second episode, the whole idea of JD now being the chief of medicine is actually played to pretty good effect. I thought they did a really good job with that for the most part. So overall, I do really like these first episodes. I hope they keep it up. We'll see where they go with this series, but it does really feel like they had captured the original magic of the original series. I was highly skeptical that they were going to be able to do that, because revivals are hit and miss. And I think for the most part, they did a pretty good job. So if you have any comments on anything I've said or the series itself, feel free to leave a comment. And yeah, I think that's all I got for you. If you like this video and want to support the channel, and there are more ways to do so. You can follow me on Twitter at Core Productions. You can join the Core Productions Facebook page. You can buy something from the Core Productions store on Zazzle. You can buy me a coffee. You can join the Core Productions membership starting at 99 cents a month. And of course, you can like, share, and comment on this video, as well as subscribe to the channel. This is Dave and Stacy, or just myself really, because Stacy's not involved in this, signing off.